All right, we are here finally. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Executive Innovation Show. Come on and say hello. And today we shifted the time, but I'm here and I'm looking forward to having this conversation. So come on and say hello. I want to make sure that you can hear me. Because for some reason it gave me an error, so that's not good. So let's why it is doing that. That tells me that I need to move on and keep going. All right. So welcome to the Executive Vision Show. And today we're talking about the fear that is keeping founders like yourself from moving forward. It's keeping you stuck when it comes to pursuing cyber and federal innovation opportunities. Okay. And let me do something very quickly. So come on in as you come in, drop, okay? Because as always, I like to make sure that while you're here, there can be someone who you can connect with. You never know who's in the room, who's in the chat. And we're talking about how you can move from being stuck to really step into the rooms that you want to step into. If you're new here, welcome to the Executive Show. I'm your host, Chevy. And as your federal execution partner, veteran of 22 plus years serving in the United States Air Force, author, a business development consent. I help tech founders establish tech founders who are looking to pursue federal opportunities, and SBIR, which stands for the Small Business Innovation Research Grant, which is non-dilutive funds that you can use to take your innovation and your ideas to the next level. And I help them do that through pursuing qualify proposal submission, but also core strategic partnership without sacrificing more time and capacity their businesses. So come in. And my internet is, I don't think it's the internet, I think is the system. It's going in and out. But today I'm going to be sharing with you key things that I have witnessed, that I'm seeing through and hearing through conversations with founders and business owners. So the topic that we're talking about, fear that is keeping you as a founder stuck. Okay. And the first thing I want to talk about first is that we all have fears. Okay. But also some of us don't do what we don't do. We don't allow the fear that we may have to keep us from moving forward. And some of us do. And right now, you might be the founder where the fear is quietly keeping you from stepping into these different opportunities, which is not good for you as a founder, especially if you're looking to pursue cyber opportunities, federal opportunities, contract, and so forth. Because I know there are big opportunities available. And when I say big, we're talking billions of dollars in contract opportunities. With cyber just alone, just for this year, this fiscal year, we know that $4 billion is available for you to pursue for your innovative ideas, which is amazing. Okay. But that's not the only opportunity. You have big opportunities in contract, federal, partnership, and also that opportunity comes with you stepping into your next level of CEO leadership as well too. But that does not happen if you continue to remain in fear and continue to remain stuck. So the first thing that I want to talk about is over preparation. Okay. And the reason I want to start with over preparation, because you might be that founder who is constantly over preparing. Okay. And what I mean by that is you are staying in learning mode. Like, I love learning, but also I am that person. I don't wait to take action. Sometimes I move too fast. Okay. But that's me, because I understand I love learning, but I also understand that I have to implement to see change and see progress in the things that I'm looking for, in the things that I want for my business. So you might be in that phase where you are over preparing. Okay. And that means you are in constant research mode. You're in constant research mode. You're constantly in the lab. You are, checking out trainings, more webinars and courses. Like, you just keep pouring into yourself, which is great as a foundation to develop your mindset, your skill set. But at the end of the day, if you continue to over prepare for something with no action, what happens? Nothing. Nothing move forward. Okay. So you have to look at how can you stop over preparing for something that you're not willing to move forward on. So you have to decide. Okay. Because it's not about waiting until everything feels right, because it will never feel right. If you're waiting for that, then you're going to keep in this cycle of preparing, researching, and so forth. And also, if you're trying to eliminate the risks, do understand in this space, there's risks. And you have to just say, you know what? There's risk involved. I'm willing, because that's part of the CEO level of leadership that you need to be in as well, too, as you're pursuing these big opportunities. Okay? Because this is going to continue to delay you. Like, this is going to continue to delay you to get into that phase 1 SBIR, to get into that federal opportunities, to get into that partnership as well. So if you are over preparing, I need you to kind of really think, okay, what am I still doing? Even though I'm saying I want this specific thing, but I'm still doing this thing. And I want to share a quick example. It was a business owner I was speaking with last year, and they wanted to work with me, but they had the business with another individual. Well, the person I was in communication with consistently was ready to move forward because quick starter, they're ready to go. But then the other partner was very much in the slow to move, but was constantly in research mode. And every time I would have a conversation with this founder, they would say, well, I'm waiting for the partner thing that we should do this. But they need to do more research. And at that point, because I'm very upfront, I'm very forthcoming, I'm very direct in a professional manner, I'll let the person know this is a cycle of analysis paralysis where that person will continue to do research with no movement. And I believe there might be in the same position still. So again, your reminder today is, as you are building, you have to look inward and ask yourself, are you over preparing and not taking action? Okay, that's the first thing I want to talk about. The next thing that might be causing you to delay and stay stuck to pursue that first phase 1 civil proposal or that federal opportunity is your overthinking, which creates no decision. Okay, it creates no decision. So what happens when you overthink? You create decision fatigue. And what I learned, because I invested into a neuroscience program by Shantae Javon Taylor, the Optimize Institute, and I love understanding how the brain works, how it operates, how we think, how we communicate. And when we are overthinking, we are putting more energy, because now our brain is working overtime trying to come to a solution that doesn't really come to an end, if that makes sense. So if you are overthinking, you're second guessing yourself, you're asking 10, 20, 30 people, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And at that point, there's nothing wrong with asking a few people their thought process. But if you are still overthinking, even after they gave you insight and you're still questioning, you're still going to someone else again to get a different answer, then my friend, it's time for you to decide. That is part of the CEO level leadership that I help my clients with, is helping you to decide and move forward. Okay? Because if you continue to overthink, that is a part of the fear process. And I want you to operate, when it comes to operate in the CEO brain level. Okay. This is your prefrontal cortex, where you get to decide. This is a decision maker where you process, think, and execute. But if you are overthinking, then sometimes that fear shows up, that anxiety shows up, that doubt shows up. And that part of the brain is your amygdala, because now you are in, that anxiety, that fear mode, I shall say, which keeps you from moving forward. So either you're over planning, over preparing, overthinking, and those things are going to continue to keep you stuck where you're currently at. Okay. And the next thing I want to focus on is the planning without execution. And this is going to keep it's going to keep you again from not moving forward. And I know you want to move forward. I know you want opportunities. I know you want partnership. But again, friend, if you are a tech founder who is, intelligent, building great things, having amazing ideas, and you keep just planning and overthinking, but you're planning without true execution, then where are you going? What path are you taking? What door are you looking to open? Because now you're waiting too long to position your innovation and your business and yourself. Okay? You're delaying your outreach. You're delaying your partnerships. You're delaying your proposal submissions. You're delaying visibility. So all of the things that you are building behind the scenes is not going to be seen because you are delaying, you are planning without true execution. And when I work with clients, we get things done. We execute, we move forward, because I am not the founder, but also the consultant who's going to be like, okay, let's plan. Because you can have conversations with business owners where I, partner with, and, we'll have conversations and I will hear you, I would listen, but then my question will always be, okay, what are we doing next? Because it's not more planning. It is not more planning, because I'm that person when we work together, whether it's through partnership or you're hiring me as your consultant, I'm going to hear, but okay, here's the plan, but here's how we're going to execute, because that's how we operated. That's how I operated in the military. Here's the plan. Here's how we're going to execute. Here's how we move out. Okay. So you can't build momentum if you're still hiding in the background. You have to decide. And that's when it comes to you shifting in your CEO level leadership. Okay. Because not everyone knows how to lead. People know how to build, and that's it. They don't know how to lead teams. They don't know how to truly execute to where momentum is happening for them, for the business, for the team. Okay. So I want you to know that it is time for you to move from survival thinking into leadership thinking, because you can't keep being in the back scene. You can't keep being in the back, just building. And if that's the case, then you need to make sure that you have the person who's going to help you bring that visibility, who's going to help you bring that positioning, who's going to help you develop your leadership so that you can step fully into that CEO level leadership that you know that you are desiring. Okay. Because if you're not stepping into that CEO level leadership, then you will continue to lead with fear. You will continue to be in that frame of mind where you're just planning, you're overthinking, over preparing. And I've had conversation with other founders right here on LinkedIn through the DM, and and I ask them, hey, what do you have going on? What are you working on? And they'll say, well, I'm doing this. I'm going to this event. I'm like, okay, but what are you doing to create movement for your business? And it's like the same verbiage coming up, and I'm like, okay, I would say to them, hey, this is what I'm seeing. Like, you're planning, you're preparing, but nothing is happening. And for me, individuals like who operate in that space and the way of thinking will continue to show up and get more data, continue to show up and get more information, continue to go to the events and conferences and build relationship, but nothing happens. No movement is being done to grow the business, to create the contract, to submit the proposal. Like, nothing is truly happening, but in their eyes and their minds, they feel like they're doing something, but that is fear showing up, which is stopping you from moving forward. Okay. But when it comes to the CEO level leadership, you got to make the decision despite not having all the facts. So you have to make the decision. And that's how we operate in the military. We still had to make that decision without having all the facts. And sometimes it's just a phone call. Hey, we need da. Got it. We're coming. Hey, you got to come in. What's going on when you get here? Got it. Don't know all the facts, but guess what? We're taking action. We're executing. We're moving out. So the same thing for you. We have Chanela here. Thank you for tuning in from a 90-degree day in New Jersey. Yes, it is hot here as well too. So I'm loving the beautiful weather here. So enjoy, but definitely hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So yes, back to stepping fully into that CEO level leadership. As I said, you got to make a decision despite not having all the fact. When you execute, that is leadership. That is part of leadership. Leadership is not just planning and not moving. Leadership is planning, but also executing, creating momentum, creating progress as well. Leadership, when you are in that CEO level type leadership, guess what? It's about you being disciplined and moving forward. No more just staying in that one spot to say, yes, okay, I just wrote a paper. I just did this. Okay. How is that impacting you right now? How is that creating momentum in your business? How is that helping you to pursue that cyber opportunities? How is that helping you to pursue that federal opportunities? How is that helping you to connect to that partnership? And if you're saying, Chevy, it is not, then you need to shift from, again, being in that fear mindset, thinking in survival mode, and really thinking about that CEO level type leadership. Because I know you want to grow your business. Okay. And another aspect of the CEO level leadership that you need to step into is trust. That means trusting yourself, okay, to step into the rooms that you want to step into. Those big rooms, connect to those big partnerships. Like, you need to trust yourself to step into those spaces that you know you need to be a part of to get those opportunities to move faster. Okay. And some of you may not need another strategy. You may need someone to help you get to that point of execution. And that is part of what I do with my clients. For me, it's like, okay, I hear you. I hear the plan. I see your vision. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So if you are a tech founder and you're at a place where, like, okay, I know I want to pursue this different opportunity. I know that I need strategic partnership. I know that I would love to get some federal opportunities underneath my belt. And you're just like in this phase of like, I'm stuck. I'm just, I'm planning. I've been planning for the last 6 months. I've been planning for the last year, 2 years. And you're like, it's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to truly execute today, tomorrow. Then I want you to reach out to me, because I help founders like yourself when it really tap into more of that execution focus, submission focus, positioning focus, federal readiness focus, partnership focus, business development focus, strategic development focus, and execution support. Again, we are doing the work to get you to that next goal, because you have a goal. You have a vision. You launch your business because you know there was a gap. You thought and looked at opportunities in the cyberspace, but you haven't moved forward yet. And if you are at this point where you said, okay, this year, this quarter, I have decided to do my first submission, find that topic, and you want support, then I want you to reach out to me. Just send me a DM with the word ready. That is all you have to do. Send me the DM with the word ready to get unstuck, to get to the point where you're actually stepping into that CEO level leadership, so that you can start executing and doing what you need to do to submit your first cyber or federal opportunity to grow your business without sacrificing more of your time or your capacity. Okay. If that's you, reach out to me. But I want to thank Chanela for joining me live. Appreciate you being here. And as always, I'm here every Wednesday. We'll be back on our regular scheduled time at 11 a.m. Central Time. And if you're new here, drop in the chat what you do, #replay. And also, as your federal execution partner, BD, veteran of 22 plus years of serving the United States Air Force, also your author, 2-time author. I got to remember to say that twice. And also your trainer, BD consultant. I help established founders like yourself to pursue cyber and federal innovation opportunities through qualified proposal submissions and strategic core partnership without you sacrificing more time or overextending your capacity so that you can continue to grow your business sustainably well. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the Executive Innovation Show. Watch us here at #replay. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Executive Innovation Show, as well. I will appreciate you guys going to check that out. And also share this live with someone that you know, like, hey, they're in the space and they're kind of stuck, because we know someone who is currently stuck and is afraid to move forward. If you know that person, go ahead and connect them to me. All right, y'all. Well, have an amazing Wednesday as always, and see you all next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Have an amazing day. And have an amazing Memorial Day weekend if you celebrate as well. See y'all.